Let me give you 5 concrete points. If you follow them to the T, your child's natural immunity is guaranteed. One more point which I am going to share at the end. That point is the most crucial one. If you've done that, your child's immunity is always going to be green. How to increase immunity in kids naturally? Fantastic. The first point with which I'll start is sleep. Your child should sleep for at least 8 hours continuously. Now it is easier said than done these days. We have so much of distraction. We have screens, television, we are having late dinners, parties, children engaged with so many things in their life. However, if you can just instill one right habit for your kid is to sleep by 8 or 8:30 p.m. at least by the time they are into the school and through their school life. If they have, of course, in the older ages like in class 11 and 12 when they have to study more, and 10th and they want to study in the night also, that we understand by that time they know how to manage their sleep properly, maybe. But I'm talking about the kids who are not yet in class 8, like till the middle school. All these children must sleep by 8:30. Very, very important. Now the second question is how to do it. करें इसको कैसे? So for that, the parents have to be the leaders. They have to be the cheerleaders. How to do it is by 8:30, make it a rule that lights are off in your house, no screens, no televisions, and everybody sleeps. Like we are just sleeping and it's a good night. Give a hug, give a kiss to your kid and say good night, Baba. Then you all go to sleep at 8:30, even if there's work pending, whatever is pending. And then you can by 9:30, 10 wake up again by the time your kid is sleeping, and then you keep on doing your chores. And if you are able to do this till your child is 5-7 years of age, it will become in their routine to sleep early. So this is crucial to their. Why? Because we know that when during sleep we are rested, we rejuvenated, and our brain, our neurons, they get replenished. There's a lot of stress which just gets healed. The stress and the anxieties and the difficulties of the day, everything is calibrated and everything is flushed off only during sleep. So if your child is not sleeping properly, they will be irritated. If they will be irritated, they will not be in sync with their calmness. And if they're not in sync with their calmness, the cortisol levels in them, the anxiety, the stress hormones would be high. If the stress hormones are high, then you just cannot think of any immunity, right? So immunity will develop with serotonin, with dopamine, with a lot of oxytocin, and this will happen. These hormones will rise in your blood, in the system, only when they're calm, and calmness will be achieved because of sleep, proper sleep. So this is the entire cycle for you. So that's why sleep is good. Okay, though the second point which I would like to say here is regular physical activity, but before that I'll come to nutrition also. See, nutrition, there's so much about nutrition on, like everybody's talking about nutrition, but what does this nutrition mean? How do you practically do this in your kids' lives? Most of the times kids are now going to school and they are being fed there, like the lunches etc are being provided at the school itself. You have to be watchful of what the school is providing to the kid if they're having meals at school, whether it is full of nutrition or not. If you are packing your kids' lunch, be sure that you are giving enough of protein, be sure you are giving enough of a nice fat and little bit of carbohydrate, because carbs are also important. Now if you're giving them a simple bread jam, so you're just stuffing them with carbs. What are carbs? They are not giving you any immunity. Carbs and sugars are a breeding ground of any infection. It is a breeding ground for bacteria, for virus to thrive. If your kid is eating a lot of sugar and carbs, then immunity is gone for a toss. For immunity, a good amount of protein is required. So if you are a non-vegetarian, you are a vegetarian, just choose your options from soya to paneer to cottage cheese to simple cheese to whatever cholas and rajmas and whatever legumes and anything. So 70% should be protein and rest 20% should be fat. Give them nice fat, and just 5% should be sugar, not like a sweet sugar, like a carbohydrate. So if you can do a 70-20-10 for your child, it's brilliant. And then they also fall out of habit of having sugar. For example, milk, you're giving them milk with Bonvita. If you are giving them milk with any protein powder, be sure you do not add any sugar to their milk. You do not add any sugar to their beverage. Know that sugar is sugar, jaggery is also sugar, honey is also at the end a carb. So don't think that if you're putting honey, it's absolutely good. So okay, a teaspoon of honey is good, but also just a teaspoon. So sugars should be absolutely no. And I'm going to make another video on emotions of food. Please watch that. It's crucial for your kid. It's crucial for you to know about emotions of food, and we'll talk about it right now. So this is so much about the nutrition. Okay, so when somebody says that my child is always running around, they're hopping, see, this is a part of their life. So running around is a casual activity for them. So if you count this as a physical activity, then it is not a specific part of their life. They'll be casual about it in the future also. Anything which is casual is you don't focus on it. So how can parents build physical activity as a proper part of somebody's life, like brushing your teeth? Is when your child gets up in the morning and you put your kid to, they go to washroom for your brushing and everything. You say, now you come back, you have to drink 1 glass of water. And now at least for 10 minutes, you have to move your body. Now you exercise with them. Do some breathing, moves your hands here, there, something. So that they know as soon as they have brushed, they have to move their body. If you're teaching them from the very beginning, then their mind will associate brushing, bathing, exercising as a routine. Then, like, you cannot live without brushing your teeth, similarly then you will not be able to live without exercises. So this has to be an integral part of routine. Remember, routines become habits, and habits become rituals, and rituals are those things without which we cannot survive. When something is a ritual for us, then it becomes mandatory for us. Like brushing the teeth is ritual. For somebody, praying is a ritual. If they have not prayed, they feel something empty. So if exercise is not just a routine and not a habit but a ritual, then your child is never going to miss it. And of course, flexing your body, improving your muscle, doing exercises is going to balance your hormones, is going to improve upon your kid's blood circulation, is going to help your child with its bone growth, cartilage growth. It's actually going to give everything that your child is going to ever need in life. Exercising is so that important. Don't let exercise be a casual part of your child's life. Let exercising be a ritual of your child's life. So the fourth point is, very important point, is simple hygiene inculcating habits. Like before sitting for food, your kid has to wash their hands with a nice soap, right? So tomorrow when they're grown up and they're adults, even if they're eating at a restaurant, you've seen some people would just go to the washroom first, they have to wash their hands, then they come to the table and they order food and they eat, because it's become a part of their not just habit but it's a ritual for them. They just cannot eat without following this. So the hygiene habits like brushing your teeth, evacuating the bowel in the morning, washing your hands before you eat your meals, chewing your food properly and then swallowing it and not gulping it, eating slowly, right? These are few things which are not impossible, which should be taught to the kids. Kids should be habituated into it, and kids should be ritualized into it, so that these 4-5 things become their rituals. So these 4-5 points should be the ritual of your child. If you have done this to your kid, their hygiene is going to be more or less sorted, their immunity is going to be more or less sorted. The most important point which I am now going to talk about is emotions, stress. how much ever you are eating a balanced food, or you are exercising, or you are following hygiene routine, and you are sleeping well, if you do not know how to balance your emotions, how to deal with the stress inside you and outside of you, your immunity is always going to be at stake, and you will be prone to falling sick and time and again, especially your kid. One thing more I want to say here is that your child's emotional quotient, your child's emotional balance is a direct reflection of your emotional balance and quotient. How are you managing your emotions? How much are you not able to navigate through your emotions? How much easily you get triggered and perturbed, and you are very reactive, you get angered very easily, you get fearful very easily, you're always, the self doubt just comes like this, you're doubting yourself. Now if these are your traits, these are your kids' trait also. You need to work upon yourself, you need to settle yourself with these things. You should come to the point of more balance, and then this will be adapted by your kid, and they will have a more balanced approach to life, and then no questions about the immunity. Because at the end of the day, all hormones, all enzymes, all chemicals in your body which are working towards immunity are basically run and executed by your hormones. And hormones are all basic four hormones. I mean, there's so many of them, like cortisol and oxytocin and dopamine and serotonin. It's always about their ratio, it's always about them, what they're, how much is that prevailing at that particular time in your body, in your kid's body. So if you are able to work on this, you will see that somehow you have done your bit of parenting, and your kids' immunity will remain good. They will not fall sick time and again.